Presidential planes and limousines today serve as symbols of power, much like crowns and scepters did in the past. So-called presidential planes are present in almost every country, but airborne command posts, or as they are also known, Doomsday Planes, can only be boasted by the leaders of the United States and Russia. These are genuine airborne fortresses unafraid of radiation, capable of staying in the air for extended periods to transport leadership to a safe location. Doomsday Planes are always ready to take to the skies 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, requiring only a few minutes to take off. These planes were designed for the event of a nuclear war, ensuring that a country's top leadership could escape and command the armed forces. Today, we will discuss the most secure, technologically advanced personal planes of the presidents of the United States and Russia, as well as compare their characteristics. Enjoy watching. Where will Vladimir Putin be during a nuclear war? Many would say he will be in an underground bunker, but they would be wrong. The shelter for the Russian leader will most likely withstand a nuclear strike, but all communication systems, especially the external ones, will be guaranteed to be destroyed. How can the commander-in-chief perform his duties without communication? Therefore, in the case of nuclear apocalypse, the president of Russia, just like the president of America, will be in an airborne bunker. Simply put, in an airborne command post, more commonly known as a Doomsday Plane. Today, Russia has 4 such aircraft, 2 of which are always ready for takeoff. This is Il-96, Putin's main bunker. In essence, the Il-96, like its predecessor, the Il-80, is a flying military headquarters. In a critical moment, it can replace the National Defense Management Center. The key feature of these planes lies in their electronic equipment. On board there is equipment to control all branches of the armed forces, allowing communication in any known broadcasting and signal reception range. In fact, the plane is capable of operating entirely autonomously. The aircraft's radio complex is designed to transmit orders to troops within a radius of 6,000 kilometers. Even in the event of the destruction of all other relay systems, satellite communication, and navigation, it can communicate with strategic aviation, mobile and shaft installations, and submarines. The connection with nuclear submarines is worth talking about in more detail. According to rumors, the new Doomsday Plane will lose its famous hump where the well-known antenna providing communication with Russian submarines was located. It might be replaced by a more advanced classified quantum communication system, enabling real-time communication with any submarine from the aircraft. In the upgraded version of the plane, all the internal components will be domestically developed, protecting communication systems from unwanted influence and any wiretapping. Naturally detailed specifications of the instruments installed on the Doomsday Planes are state secrets and highly guarded. An attempt to get inside, take a photo, or steal something from the plane is equivalent to high treason, and these planes are heavily guarded by special units during their operational duties. According to unconfirmed reports, the main feature of the new aircraft might be the use of a specially trained neural network to verify algorithms and launch codes for ballistic missiles instead of human operators. This neural network will be linked to the perimeter system, ensuring a retaliatory nuclear strike, and operates entirely autonomously without human intervention. Naturally, such a substantial amount of electronics on board the flying bunker requires reliable, uninterrupted power sources. In the case of this plane, turbo generators hidden in gondolas and mounted on pylons under the wings serve this purpose. These devices can generate electrical power similar to the principle of wind power stations. Therefore, the plane won't need additional fuel to charge the presidential phone, especially since the fuel will be highly useful for other purposes, namely ensuring a prolonged stay in the air. The Il-96, with its maximum takeoff weight, can cover more than 8,500 kilometers. The operation time of the new planes will only be limited by fuel, oil condition, and other fluids. As stated by one of the plane's commanders, if tanker aircraft are sent to refuel this plane in time, it can remain airborne practically indefinitely. Moreover, Russia's main military aircraft is highly protected against most consequences of a nuclear explosion, including penetrating radiation. The only scenario in which the plane would be destroyed is if the aircraft is directly hit by the shockwave. Regarding weaponry, there is none aboard the Doomsday Plane. The protection of the airborne command post during flight will be entrusted to a special squadron of fighter aircraft. Let's move to the United States. In front of you is the Boeing E4B. This unique modification of Boeing serves as the United States Airborne Command Post, designed for the evacuation and functioning of the American government in the event of a global catastrophe or any potential conflict, including a full-scale nuclear war. A total of 4 of these planes, based on the Boeing 747, have been built. Every time the US president leaves the country, one of the E4Bs lands at a nearby airport, serving as a command post in the event of war. Similar to the nuclear briefcase, the plane must always be close to the president. In the air, the E4 can stay up for a whole week, provided it is refueled in time. The only limitations are the lubricants for the engines and the food and water supplies for the crew. All the aircraft systems are shielded from the impact of a nuclear explosion as well as from electromagnetic pulses, which usually disable all electronics. For this purpose, every system on the plane, from the navigation system to the clocks on the table, is analog. Managing this aircraft is quite complex. Moreover, all such planes carry means of protection against attacks and are far from defenseless. The plane consists of 3 decks. The main lower deck, where the former cargo hold of the Boeing 747 used to be, houses the working area. There are also electronics and a special antenna designed for communication with nuclear submarines. In the front of the main deck, there is a military command post, followed by 4 seats for guards. Next is a kitchen with full equipment and supplies intended for extended flights. Moving on, there is a room for conferences and press briefings. The next compartment is specially designed for the military personnel, approximately 30 people, mostly command officers directly responsible for operations such as missile launches. There are 12 phone lines on board, allowing communication or message transmission anywhere in the world. All communication electronics are housed in a small hump on the fuselage known as the ray dome. Additionally, the E4 is used in disaster zones such as hurricanes as a reliable communication source. The plane's cost amounted to $250 million, making it the second most expensive aircraft ever produced, surpassed only by the B-2 Spirit. Each flight hour of this plane costs approximately $155,000. According to technical specifications, the E4's flight resource will end in 2039, and therefore the project received a new financial support, ensuring further development. The American aircraft performs the same functions as its Russian counterpart. As we mentioned earlier, the only difference with the Russian plane is that it lacks external defensive capabilities. Thus, it is always escorted by a pair of fighter jets. The Doomsday Plane is a vessel designed to withstand any twists of fate, including nuclear ones. They represent the pinnacle of engineering and human ingenuity. However, the most important decision would be never to deploy these planes for their intended purpose directly. They are meant to be the last hope, ensuring the continuity of life and governance of the state in the most extreme circumstances. In these moments, they become symbols of survival and resilience, reminding us of the importance of peace and security in our world. Which of the Doomsday planes shown in this video impressed you the most? Share your opinion in the comments. And also share whether you want to see a video about the personal helicopters of Russian and US presidents. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the Caro Show channel. Also check out our previous videos. See you next time.